Welcome to the Money Confidant. Of course, we always want to hear from you, so I appreciate when you write in. Today, we decided to tackle some of your holiday questions. Take a look. So there's a lot. That's excellent. Welcome to the Money Confidant. We decided we would show you a little bit of what goes on here behind the scenes with us. We're having a holiday meeting, talking about some of our holiday stories that we're working on. I am with Ruth. Who really is excited to be on camera today, but is willing to do it so you can hear a little bit about what we're working on and stuff that hopefully is going to help you. So we have a lot that you've got, right?
Yeah.
What's cooking?
Well, since you did the radio interview last week, there's been a lot of feedback and people asking a few more questions.
Ah, great. We did holiday spending in that radio report.
So it's a little more information on that topic. So if you want to answer a few questions, that'd be really informative.
Fantastic.
Our first question is from Alison, who says that her sister and her family have a much higher income than she has within her family. So when it comes to buying gifts at the holiday season, they end up spending more and it pushes her budget to where she doesn't really want it to go. So she's wondering, should she broach the subject? Should they talk it through? Or is there a better way to deal with it?
Allison? Allison, I really think that you got to come clean with your sister. It's a sister that's spending.
Yeah, her sister's family.
And I have 4 sisters, so I get it. I know what's going on. I know this is a really common problem. I mean, sometimes you see it with grandparents. One set of grandparents maybe has a little more income, and they try to really splurge and buy the expensive toys. The other grandparents are trying to keep up, or maybe they have more grandkids they're buying for, and it's tough to keep up. Here's what I think you need to do is look at the situation, decide, do you need to have a conversation? If it's an intimate family setting and everybody knows the situation, no one's expecting you to show up bringing keys, for a new Ferrari, They know what you earn, and I think that nothing needs to be said. But I think if you're really feeling the pressure and maybe a family Pollyanna or, some sort of a family gift-giving thing where you're doing an exchange, maybe you set a dollar limit and have a conversation. I'd say you have a sister too. This is where I think having that conversation on the phone with your sister saying, hey, I feel like a total loser because you're buying the expensive stuff. Can you stop it? Can we do something else? And there's another option here too. If it's maybe buying for your parents, think of like chipping money in together. We did this as a family a lot, and I thought it was really effective because you don't know how much everybody gave. And so maybe the sister wants to give that more expensive thing, but if you can chip in together and you give what you can afford, and it doesn't always have to be halvesies, So, Allison, try that out. Let me know if that works, and it's a great question, so I'm glad she wrote in with that one.
Yeah, definitely. The next one we have is a pretty straightforward question, but really good one. When to use credit cards and when to use debit cards?
Credit card, debit card. Some people think always use debit cards, right? And you hear me preach all the time, like use cash, use cash, use cash, use debit, so it comes right out of your account. And you've heard me tell you this a million times. So I think oftentimes using the debit card makes sense, except when you're buying those big ticket items, those things that could break or have a problem with them, sometimes you get some security with the credit card. Number one, you have that trail of where it came from. You also get that with a debit card. Yeah. But with cash, you don't always get it. I purchased it. There's a problem with this item. Your credit card company can actually be a terrific ally if there's a problem with something. So I really think big ticket items, big electronics, that kind of thing, use a credit card. Don't use it as an excuse to really, rack up that debt. I think that happens a lot. Yeah. Don't do it and not be able to pay it off. If you can't pay it off, don't buy it. If you can pay it off, I think the big ticket item, go with credit card. Other stuff, use cash or debit.
Okay, excellent. We have so many great questions. I'm going to go to this one from Steph, who asks that how much can she discuss with her kids about their budget during the holiday season? She doesn't want to make them feel down or worried, but she doesn't want to set some expectations that are more realistic for them.
I think it's really good. She give her kids age. Did Steph provide that?
8 and 12.
8 and 12, oh good. Steph, 8 and 12 years old. I think it's time to say that values can be different in every family. I know that sometimes, especially if Santa is involved, there's like, how come Santa buys them the big stuff and me not? I'll tell you what I tell my own daughter. I say that Santa gets some presents, but parents buy the other ones. And so sometimes in families where there's a whole lot of gifts, the parents got that, but that's not for us to tell those kids. It's for their parents too. But Santa gets kids the same amount of presents. That's when Santa's involved, that's how I like to handle it. But I think it comes back to something we discussed a lot, and that's your values as a family. You know, if Santa's not in the picture and this is purchases that you're buying and the kids know you're getting, I like to set expectations to say, you know, the holidays are great for getting presents, but really our beliefs are that we want to save for education, or our beliefs are that we have to go travel to see grandma, and that's more important for us to spend money on that. Or we live in a more expensive area of the country, so we need more money for our house and in other places. So there's a lot of different conversations you can have with your kids. And I like doing this. I don't like saying we can't afford it. I like saying we have different values. And to frame it that way. And that, you know, what does the holiday mean to you anyway? And this is also a really good chance for you to say, you know, what does it mean to me? Am I too commercial? Am I teaching my kid to be too commercial? Am I making it all about things? And if you are, that's what's going to be important for them. So sometimes we have to walk the walk, and that means going to volunteer at a local charity or collecting toys for needy kids, doing something so you're showing that the holiday is more about spending money.
Yeah, it's an important conversation to have with your children.
So a lot of stuff. I think that's about all we have time for right now, but Ruth and I actually have a lot more work to do, so we're going to get to it. See you later.
Bye.
If you have a question, just email me. Hit the contact button at the top of the page. Thanks for visiting the Money Confidante.